Hello everyone, D with DJR Union. First of all, I want to say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everyone out there. It's a wonderful day to spend time with your family. However, if you are currently on YouTube, hey there. And I am here because we just got the reveal of the cards from the Demon Slayer starter deck. And as you see, it's going to be yellow, and we're just going to jump right in and go through all the cards real quick. And yeah, so first off, we got our boy Zenitsu right here. When played, you get to look at the top 4 cards of your deck, reveal up to 1 Tanjiro, Nezuko, or Inosuke among them, add it to your hand, and then place the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. And if you add a card from your hand, place one from your hand to the sideline. And as you can see here, it's going to be your 2-action Zenitsu card. He's going to be searching for his friends to pretty much come and help him out. Well, because in the scene he was getting quite a bind, so obviously he's going to want to have those friends come there and help him out while he's in a bind. Next up, we got Sakonji Urokodaki, and here we have his active main. You switch him to resting and choose one other character that will gain 1k BP till end of turn, which is a pretty good supporting ability. You can have him in the back line, not only generating energy, but as well as dropping this ability pretty much every turn, because it'll be free at that point. Next up, we got the Kasugai Crow. Pretty much this crow is going to be here to not only generate you some energy, but you can at any point in time switch him to resting to get that extra one, where at the end of the main phase you will then sideline him. Next up, here's your raid fodder, essentially your zero energy cost Tanjiro Kamado. Next up, you got Nezuko Kamado. And this one, during your turn, if Tanjiro is on your field, she will gain 1k BP, putting her at 2500 BP. This is the Nezuko that we did see in the past. However, this art is different than the one we saw prior to it. Next up, we got Kanao Tsuyuri. Wow. Kanao Tsuyuri. And pretty much when she's active... Now, R and I did go over how this Inosuke card is going to be working. This Inosuke, impact 1, if he's on the front line and he stays as active at the end of the attack phase, you kill him off. And if he attacks and loses a battle, he dies. Like I said, R and I already went over this, so stay tuned because there is a video coming up where we cover not only the rest of the Demon Slayer cards that have been revealed over time, well, some of them, because there have been new ones since then, but we're also going to be having the inclusion of One Punch Man cards, which are nowhere to be seen except for online and in various other places. So we went in a little bit deep to some of the cards that we have found, and yeah, but this is a Demon Slayer video, so we're going to stick with Demon Slayer. Here you got the Total Concentration Breathing, which is your stand-up 2 AP cards. You got to have that in the deck, you have to. And yeah, as you see, he's totally concentrating on his breathing. Next, we got While Breathing 10th Form Constant Flux. This is your kill card with Tanjiro, 3k or less BP, and if Tanjiro's on the field, 5k or less BP instead. Next up, we got Zenitsu Agatsuma, and pretty much zero energy, vanilla card. This would be raid fodder if he had a raid in this starter deck, but he doesn't. However, who knows, we might see yellow Zenitsu in the full set, so then we could probably use this one as fodder for that. Next up, we got another Tanjiro Kamado. This one is the one with Step. Again, I also went over this card in the past. Your next card that's going to be in the set is the Raid Tanjiro that I went over previously, where if Nezuko is on the field, she will pretty much strengthen this Tanjiro, giving him an extra 500 BP and impact until the end of the turn, or start of the next turn. Here you have the special card art that's going to be coming up for Tanjiro. It's not going to be out just yet, but pretty much when you get the starter deck, you have a chance to pull the special card art for Tanjiro, and this is going to be what it would look like. Next up, you got Nezuko Kamado, 4 energy, 2 action. When played, you get to choose up to 1 character with 3k or less required energy on your opponent's front line and kill it, which is a very interesting way of doing kills, is focusing on the energy rather than the amount of BP they have. I find that very interesting, and I wonder how much more they're going to do stuff like this in future sets to come. Like, just imagine it, because there are some pretty good raids out there, especially with the Code Geass set just coming out. There's a lot of 3 energy raids. And with that, this Nezuko alone can kill off a lot of the raid. If you're going up against Code Geass and you're playing like Yellow Demon Slayer, you might want to have this Nezuko on board with you, just because she's going to be taking out a lot of raid cards, a lot of the lesser raid cards for Code Geass, specifically some of the mechs that follow the Holy Britannian Empire, as well as like a Shirley in red, and maybe even possibly the 4 Holy Swords. I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of other cards that are going to be coming out with lesser raid energy than possible, but we will be seeing that in the future. Next up, we got Sabito. 1 energy, 1 action. When played, you get to choose one other character on your field that gains 1k BP till end of turn. So as you can see, this deck is kind of focused on having like energy build up and a way to constantly gain it. With the inclusion of Sabito as well as the Sakonji here, always being able to increase BP by 1k, it makes it so that even your lesser cards like the Zenitsu here at 2500 BP are still a pretty questionable threat depending on how you play your cards, right? Let's say you have 2 of the Sakonjis, this Zenitsu then becomes a deadly threat. It's pretty interesting how they have it set up. Next up, you got Inosuke Hashibiri, 3 energy, 1 action, 2 energy generator. Pretty straightforward. All he does is generate energy for you. Follow it up by the Gyo Tamioka that I mentioned in the previous video. 5 energy, 2 action, impact 1. And when he's played, you get to choose one character on your opponent's front line, switch it to resting, draw a card. Again, R and I both covered this card. And if you want to see what our opinions are to that, stay tuned, subscribe, turn on notifications, and you'll see as soon as the One Punch Man Demon Slayer video card review goes up, we will be talking about some of the Demon Slayer cards and the One Punch Man cards that have been revealed. Now, Giyu is going to be the other card that will also have the possibility of having alternate treatment, which is something that would be really cool to see. I do want to see what his art looks like. I wonder if it'll just be like extra foil like the Fushiguro was in JJK, or if maybe we'll be seeing some type of alternate art for him. Who knows? Next up, we have a Round Boulder Sight card for Demon Slayer. On the main phase, switch it to resting, kill this card, destroy it like Tanjiro did, and all characters on your field gain 1k BP till end of turn. Again, another way to increase BP for a lot of characters. And when you have cards like, especially with this Inosuke here, like this Inosuke is going to be a constant threat as long as you have cards like the Sakonji to boost him up on your main phase. You can play this Sabito at any point to boost him up, or you can, like I just mentioned with the effective Round Boulder, increase everyone on the field by 1k, including 1, 2, 3, or even 4 Inosuke Hashibiris with impact at 1 energy. If you get a lot of these out on the front line and then rest and kill off this card, which isn't playable turn of, you have to wait an extra turn because this isn't set to active like some sites are. But after that, you just buff your characters up and you're able to get a lot of damage. And it seems like impact is very important in this yellow set. Very important because of the fact that there's a lot of ways to increase BP. And the last card of the set is going to be Comrades, 2 energy, 1 action. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Reveal up to 2 Tanjiro, Nezuko's, Zenitsu's, or Inosuke cards among them. Add them to your hand and then place the rest on the bottom in any order. This one, you don't have to place cards from your hand into the sideline after grabbing 2 of those cards. But pretty much, you just grab your 2 cards and continue your turn from there. Pretty good. Next up, you got the action points that you get. This is going to be your standard action point, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, this is the standard action point that you get with every set. However, there is a chance to get the special action point, which is going to be this one, Tanjiro and Nezuko, which is really nice. I do like this. This is the second one, as you see, Yui 05 ST, that is Union Arena English, Set 5 Starter, and Kimetsu no Yaiba 1, because Volume 1, APO2. APO2 meaning that this is the second action point you can get in the starter, and this is the first one. So the first one's going to be the basic one that you can constantly get. The second one is going to be the unique one that you can get depending on whether or not you get lucky, as well as these all arts for both Tanjiro and Giyu. So yeah, those are pretty much all the cards for the set. This is all that's been revealed so far for the Demon Slayer set. I'm expecting in a week's time to get the full card list out, and that we're going to get the full card list out, and that's because the starter deck comes out a week before, so therefore a week after we get the full starter deck card list, I expect us to see perhaps even a full card list for the actual set, because let's be honest, being able to see the cards that we get access to is very key, very important. And I do expect to see a starter deck list on the Union Arena app. I'm not sure if we will or will not, but if you haven't, go ahead and download the Union Arena app. It pretty much gives you a good rundown on the rules of the game as well as how to play it. So this is for the Demon Slayer fans that are just going to be getting into Union Arena with the Demon Slayer set. They pretty much have 3 starter decks that you can choose from just to try out in the tutorial app. There's Hunter x Hunter, Bleach, and Jujutsu Kaisen. So go ahead, download that, learn how to play those cards, learn how to play the game, and then once Demon Slayer drops, you can absolutely dominate the field with Demon Slayer. I can see some pretty crazy stuff happening, and I can't wait for you guys to join us, because Union Arena is a pretty fun card game, and I really want more players to challenge me. You know, come on, challenge me. I want to see how good you are. But with all that being said, thank you all for watching today's video. I've been D with DJR Union, and I will see you in the next video.